So Adrien Broner defeats Paulie Malignaggi with a 12-round split decision to become the new WBA welterweight champion. Look, this fight was a money-making exercise by Adrien Broner. It was a cherry-pick fight. It was a way for him to move up and get a good win for the casual fans. You know, he can now say that he's whatever, freeweight champion or whatever it is. But in reality, we all know that this was a cherry-pick fight against Paulie Malignaggi, who had already been stopped by Amir Khan. He'd been stopped by Ricky Hatton. He'd been beat by Miguel Cotto. And he got beat by those guys in his prime. All right? So here against Adrien Broner, you know, he lost to Broner. I thought that Broner won the fight fairly comfortably. All right? Malignaggi was a lot more active. He threw a lot more punches, which is what we expected. Adrien Broner never throws a lot of punches. But I just felt that Broner was by far landing the better quality shots. He was pressing the action. He was coming forward. You could probably count on one hand the amount of times that Malignaggi landed clean on Adrien Broner throughout the fight. So I thought Broner won the fight pretty comfortably in the end, probably by at least 2-3 rounds on my card. So I don't have no problem with the decision. I know a lot of people believe that Paulie won the fight. They believe it was actually closer than the fight really was. I think people don't like Adrien Broner. And I can understand why. Broner's a clown, right? Let's be real. He's a clown. Yeah, he behaves like, I mean, not even a 12-year-old is as immature as Broner is. But, you know, he's a clown, so I can understand why people don't like him. But you can't let your dislike for Broner cloud your judgment. And I thought Broner won the fight fairly comfortably. He had Paulie on the run. He was landing right hands constantly all the time. Uppercuts, body shots. Clean punches, and Paulie, for the most part, was hitting Broner on the arms and gloves. He was landing a few good body shots here and there, but as you all know, Paulie can't punch his way out of a wet paper bag. So, Broner did all the most clean, effective work. He was aggressive throughout the fight. He was the aggressor, and I think he took a deserved victory. But let's see if Broner actually takes on a real fight. In his next matchup. He said after the fight that since people are accusing him of cherry picking, he's gonna let the people choose who his next opponent's going to be. Well, the people are definitely going to choose someone at 140, because we all know Adrien Broner skipped 140 to take this fight with Malignaggi. All right, so we all know that the people want him to fight Lucas Matisse. All right, and if Danny Garcia don't have the balls to step in the ring with Matisse, maybe Adrien Broner will do so. Yeah, because I'd love to see Adrien Broner fight Lucas Matisse. All right, we'll just wait and see whether he's gonna back up his talk, or whether he's going to do a David Haye. When David Haye fought Audley Harrison, he claimed that the only reason he fought Audley Harrison is because the public wanted to see it. And we all know that wasn't true. He claimed that the public wanted to see him fight Audley Harrison more than they wanted to see him fight Klitschko. All right. So, boxers, when they want to talk bullshit, they can really talk bullshit and stretch the bullshit out. So, we'll see where Adrien Broner goes from here. Malignaggi, there was some shenanigans after the fight. Broner said that he took Malignaggi's girl and, this, that, and the other. It's like, whatever, man. Then, Paulie claimed that one of the judges got paid off. One of the judges, I think, had it 117 to 111 for Broner. I don't know, man. It was one of those kind of fights where there was a lot of close rounds because of the fact that Malignaggi was throwing so many more punches than Broner, but Broner was landing the cleaner shots. So it was one of them occasions where, do you like the more clean, effective punches, or do you like the work rate of Malignaggi? Broner was landing the cleaner shots. Malignaggi was throwing a hell of a lot more shots. So it just depends what you like. But me personally, looking at the fight, as a neutral, I thought that Broner won it without too much problems. I thought he won it fairly comfortably. So now this bullshit fight is out of the way. Hopefully we can get to see Broner in some real fights. If he's a man of his word, we'll find out and see if he is. But if he's a man of his word, hopefully we get to see him in some real fights. And, we got this circus show out of the way. And, we'll see where it goes from here. As for Paulie Malignaggi, maybe he should just retire, man. Paulie's done as good as he's ever going to do. So maybe he should just retire, man. He's never going to have any power. He's always going to have these hand problems. And he's always failed at the very highest level in boxing. So, he was stopped by Khan, stopped by Hatton, beat up by Miguel Cotto years and years ago when he was in his prime. So what's the point in carrying on now? Now he's been beaten by Adrien Broner. One thing I'll say about Broner is that Broner, Although he was a good puncher at 135 pounds, we all know Malignaggi takes a good shot, but I think it's fair to say that Broner is not really a massive puncher at 147. He's not really a massive puncher at welterweight, right? At no point did he look like he was going to drop Malignaggi. At no point did he really look like he was going to stop him. Malignaggi was quite tired in the fight, and I thought that maybe he might wear out down the stretch and Broner might be able to get a late stoppage, but that was more due to him being worn down and fatigue rather than any concussive punches that Broner was landing on him. Broner really didn't hurt him that much, with headshots. He really didn't hurt him that much. So, it remains to be seen how Broner's power really translates to the 147-pound division. But to me, he don't look a massive puncher at 147. But like I said, Malignaggi has always been known for a good chin. But, you look at the Amir Khan fight, the Miguel Cotto fight and stuff like that. Malignaggi was he was hurt a lot more in those fights than he was in this fight with Adrien Broner. And that's back when Paulie was in his prime. All right, definitely in the Hatton fight anyway. In the Cotto fight, he was in his prime. And he was better than he was better against Khan than he is now. And Khan still managed to hurt him and stop him. So, I don't know about Broner's power at 147. But, Broner put in a pretty good technical display. He walked down a man who had no power. And he was able to walk him down the way that he did. If Malignaggi was a guy who had punching power, Broner wouldn't have been able to fight that way, right? Or he would have had a much more difficult time of trying to fight that way. Do you get what I'm saying? So we'll see where these fighters go from here. But like I said, I want to see Broner in some real fights now. No more cherry pick bullshit for the casual fans. Let's see him take on some real competition and be involved in some real fights. Back down at 140. There's even fights for him at 147. Devon Alexander, possible fight, although Alexander Khan looks more likely to be made. But there's a lot of fighters there at 147. He could take on, Tim Bradley if that fight could be made. Keith Thurman is there, There's some good competition at 147 and there's some good competition at 140. So let's see Adrien Broner take on some good competition. Yeah. So leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you felt about this fight. This is Hatman. I'm out.